Welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. So today it's a new CGC 9.8 buy alert video. Yeah, and this comic book, it really sort of dawned on me that I think this is one of the best modern first appearances that you can buy in the CGC 9.8 right now. Yeah, and when I'm talking about modern too, I'm thinking just coming out in the last year here. So really sort of new modern books, I guess, if you want to call them that. But I think this one has some potential, and we'll get into all the details here. I'll leave it up to you guys if you think that this one's more of a speculative book, or maybe it could be more of an investment grade book. Because I think, modern first appearances, most of them are going to be speculative. Like, you just never really know how a character is going to go. But I think here I'll try to make the case that this one has some investment potential possibly, and yeah, so much so I kind of wanted to make its own video, kind of a buy it now video. So yeah, okay, let's get right in here to the recommend. Yeah, CGC 9.8 I'd recommend to buy right now is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 101. And I want to talk about now the retail incentive edition of this book, because this is the first appearance of Lita and Mona Lisa, kind of some new Ninja Turtle characters. And they're on the cover in the retail incentive edition. Yeah, so this one's becoming pretty well collected. There's way more 9.8s in the variant, it's a 1 for 10 variant, the retailer incentive edition. Way more 9.8s on the census, so I think right now this is kind of the one the collectors want because the characters are on the cover, the first appearance characters. So we'll talk a little bit more about the characters, but 59 9.8s in the blue label for the retailer incentive edition. That's quite a lot for a book that just kind of came out, I'm pretty sure it was December of last year. 95.2% the CGC 9.8 ratio. So of all graded copies, 95.2% of them are 9.8, so almost all of them graded are 9.8s, and that's what you kind of get with these modern comic books. But did mention there, this is the first appearance of Lita and Mona Lisa. So Lita is kind of the new kid Ninja Turtle. And you can kind of tell they're probably going to go with her in the story quite a bit, because in issue 105, there's a bit of like a time travel scene, and adult Lita sort of makes her first appearance in 105. So that may be a bit of a secondary Lita key there, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 105. But 101 is her first appearance as a sort of little kid Ninja Turtle in training kind of thing. So I think that's really cool. I read this sort of a batch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books here. I read from issue 100 to 106. And really, Lita and Mona Lisa are big parts of the story. It really seems like they're going to run with them. So that's really positive. Like, it's one thing to get a first appearance and then after 3 issues they're completely gone and they go another way with the story. But sort of how the story's going right now is Splinter died, so the Ninja Turtles are really sad. And the story's really focusing on like Jennika, Lita, Mona Lisa, and the sort of mutants that are all in the sort of mutant town, which is kind of a part of the story where there's this kind of quarantine part of town and there's like this mutant pandemic virus, so they're kind of taken from the modern world a little bit too with the coronavirus and everything. But it really seems like they're going to run with these characters. So talk about prices right now for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 101, the retailer incentive edition. Latest completed listing is $214.25 in the CGC 9.8 white pages. Auction that just ended a week or two ago. And you know what, I got pretty excited about this one, and once I read the comics, I got even a little bit more excited because I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story, but I also really liked how they're just continuing to go with Lita and Mona Lisa. Like, they're really big parts of the story, certainly in 105 with that kind of cameo of adult Lita in it. So I ended up picking up one at this $214.25, this particular auction. It was in Canada. That ended at $214.25 was one that I won in the CGC 9.8. I haven't received the book yet, but I still wanted to make a video about this one to kind of buy now. I do have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 101, the cover A first print, which is a fantastic cover, I gotta say. This black cover here in the 101. Brought up my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 51 as well, the first appearance of Jennika. Another reason why I think I'm really kind of aiming for these is they fit so well into my collection. I have 3 of these in the 9.8, the first appearance of Jenica. So to kind of get these first appearance of Lita books and Mona Lisa, I think is, just fits right into my collection, basically. On the retailer incentive edition, though, it's a Dustin Weaver on the cover art. Yeah, looking pretty great. You got kind of Lita in the bottom left there. Just really quickly, talking about this first print, the one I got a raw in, and yeah, looking really good, kind of maybe, worthy to kind of send it to CGC, possible 9.8. But in the first print, there's only 3 9.8s on the census in the first print. So I think that's half of, most people wanting this book are getting the variant cover and sending that because the first appearances are on the cover. But I could see the first appearance here in the 101 just because this cover is so cool. Yeah, kind of a Sophie Campbell sort of a whole team cover there with Jenica in the team too. So kind of the whole new team on the cover. And I have a feeling this one, it's going to be a pretty tough black cover to kind of get in the 9.8. So only 3 9.8s out there in teenage. That could be one to kind of look for in the 9.8 as well. Maybe you get it for a little bit less than $214.25, the retailer incentive. But with the characters being on the cover in the more rarer variant, I would almost recommend, and that's sort of why I kind of focused on that at the beginning, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 101. The retailer incentive edition with Lita and Mona Lisa on the cover. I bought mine for $214.25. Maybe if you're lucky, you get it under 200. This book's not, I don't think, super hot. It's still under the radar, although there are some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans getting it graded. Obviously, already 59 9.8s is quite a lot. So 101, the first print, wanted to mention. Also want to mention 105, sort of touched on that, where there's a cameo of kind of adult Lita. So that kind of sealed the deal for me when I was reading it, and I saw that, they're going to show, or they showed the adult Lita sort of come back, and she's a Ninja Turtle. So that just makes me think they're going to sort of run with Lita and show her growing up and learning all the ninja moves and stuff, because she's really, during this sort of 101 to 105, she's making mistakes and getting emotional and crying because she's not a good ninja, kind of. So, she's going to be learning, and I think that could be a really extended kind of story. And, obviously, I was pretty early on the first appearance of Jenica. I was really, collecting number 51 and 95 and some of the variants of 95. Yeah, 51, I have 3 in the 9.8s and 5 in the raw. So I really kind of, before everyone was talking about Jenica, I really thought that was a bit of an opportunity. And I think this could be a bit of an opportunity as well. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 105, first appearance of the Kid Ninja Turtle, Lita, and Mona Lisa, who kind of is a reintroduced character, I believe, from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures cartoon from like the 80s. But now they brought her back. She sort of looks like a dragon type of mutant because she was infected by sort of the mutant town virus that's going around in the story. So she kind of looks a bit weird, but still a big part of the story, Mona Lisa as well. And really quick here, definitely recommend Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 101, the retailer incentive edition in the 9.8. I think it's kind of a great modern to buy. Did boil it down into 4 reasons here, and I think we touched on a couple of them, but that's okay. First reason, fits right into my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Jenica collection. Another thing about this whole story is like Jenica is like the primary, character in all these stories. Like she's teaching Lita like how to be a ninja and like helping her out with some of her emotions and stuff like that. So like this is just more positive for my Jenica books, and it just kind of makes sense because it fits right in with my modern Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. Second reason here, I think this is a high potential first appearance variant. So obviously you're getting the variant is the one I want to recommend, and it's the kind of the easier one to find in the 9.8, so it's kind of the one to get right now, I think. These variants got that really high ceiling. Like, you don't want to say anything, but if there were some rumblings that like Lita was going to be in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie, or maybe even in a live action movie, or Jenica, Lita, whatever, this variant would absolutely explode, I would imagine. And I wouldn't expect that to happen for years, basically, but I think it is a high potential variant, and in the meantime, you could really just enjoy it having, some of these cool first appearances, and I really enjoyed the story. Yeah, reading these issues, and that was kind of the clincher for me. So maybe if you're on the fence, read the story, see if you like it or not. And it's definitely a bit of a love-or-hate story, to be honest. I think reading some of the comments of the online comics I was reading, there's a lot of people that just think they kind of take it a little bit too far into, maybe the political angles and things like that, because it is like a quarantine city, and they build a wall around the city, so there's kind of like a Trump figure, like, standing above the wall kind of thing. So some people like it, some people don't. I liked it. So, but yeah, the second reason there, high potential first appearance variant that I think you want to be early on if you can. Third reason here, I just kind of touched on it. Yeah, I really enjoyed the story. Yeah, I read from issue 100 to 106 one night a couple weeks ago. Really enjoyed the story, and I was kind of hearing a lot of hate of it, and I just wanted to approach it from like, a completely neutral angle, and just, if I enjoyed it, I enjoyed it. If I didn't, if it bugged me, it bugged me. Didn't really bug me. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed the story, and, kind of seeing the Turtles sort of getting over the Splinter's death in the first kind of 101, 102, and then 103 kind of coming around, and then by 104, 105, they're starting to kind of kick ass again. So I enjoyed the sort of story, and it's Sophie Campbell as well doing the art and story from, I think it was like 101 to 105. I sort of noticed, like, reading 106, I wasn't really liking the art or the story as much. So I'm kind of a fan of Sophie Campbell, to be honest. Yeah, I just was like, kind of couldn't wait to get to the next issue and read it kind of thing. And her art is really good as well. And just to say, like, I think some people take an issue because she's a trans person. So, like, there's just a lot of people with all these, like, political motives that the reason why they hate the story. But from me approaching it from a neutral part, I liked it. Yeah, I was entertained, great art, cool kind of intro of some new characters. Yeah, I could see a pretty bright future, I would say. So that was the third reason. Yeah, I really just enjoyed the story. Fourth reason here, it was in Canada, the auction. So it was an auction, and it was in Canada. I wouldn't have had to wait for it to come over the border. It is in BC though, so it's still kind of taken about a week or two to get here. Otherwise, I probably would have had it by now. Yeah, that was kind of the fourth reason. Decent price. It was an auction in Canada, cheap shipping. So from that perspective, just the timing was right. Okay, so I think we'll wrap it up there. So yeah, you know what? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 101, I think, is an issue that has potential. A new modern first appearances, you kind of never know how they're going to go. But I would kind of, right now, with 59 in the 9.8 out there, and certainly in the raw, if your budget's not up to these, over 200 for this one, check this one out in the raw as well. I think would be a decent deal. But I think if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, if you're like me, this is definitely a first appearance to purchase. But, maybe you might think of them more as speculative purchases. But still, I think, yeah, these Ninja Turtle books, there's just in general a bit of a lack of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles key issues out there compared to, like, Spider-Man or Batman or any Marvel character. You just go back in the chronology and find all the key issues that you'd ever want to buy. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a little bit different. Like, there's obviously the 80s first appearances, all the prints are very well collected, but after that, not too many sort of new first appearances or anything like that. And I sort of mentioned that when I was buying the Jenica ones for pretty cheap, and I think that similar kind of reason rings true with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 105. So yeah, 101, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 101. So yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 101, the retailer incentive edition, I think is kind of the one to get. 101, the first print, I bought a sort of raw one in the near mint. I kind of want maybe a couple more, and even a 9.8. I love this cover, even though Lita and Mona Lisa not on it, but just love it anyway. Still gonna get the first appearance with it. And maybe consider Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 105, which is the first appearance of adult Lita. In that one, actually, I kind of like the retailer incentive cover the best as well. So the more rare variant in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 105 might be worth it. But yeah, now I think is the time to buy this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 101 retailer incentive edition in the CGC 9.8. Because yeah, these variants, like, you know, the Dr. Aphra variant just come to my mind. That variant, first Dr. Aphra in the Star Wars comics, it's like $800 now, about, in the CGC 9.8. So, you know, I could see this one. I'm not saying that it's going to get to that level, but these rarer variants, I think, do have a higher ceiling and more potential. And I think the first appearances are there in this book to sort of give it that potential. And yeah, I really enjoyed the story. I think I could see people really liking, especially the Lita character, just sort of getting into seeing her grow up and stuff like that and become a ninja. Okay, yeah, I think we'll leave it up there. Yeah, I really recommend Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 101. Definitely wanted to make a video. If you haven't already, I would invite you to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Hit the bell for all the latest video notifications and add me on Instagram and Twitter as well. All the links in the description below for that. But yeah, you know what? I think in the modern landscape out there, I just think this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 101, you get the big first appearances, the more rare variant, right around $200. I think that's a great buy right now in the CGC 9.8, and definitely consider the raws. I think they'd probably be a little bit under $100 in the raw for like a near mint kind of raw, looking really nice. Definitely ones to consider, absolutely. Okay, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate all the support. Message me on Instagram if you wanted to ask me any questions about, you know, if you're buying comics or whatever it might be. Always love chatting about comic books or whatever it is. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.